What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. In this video, we are jumping into Night Terrors issue number 1. And this issue number 1, this is going to continue on everything that we have seen so far from Night Terrors First Blood. And if you're brand new to Night Terrors, I highly recommend that you check out the playlist we've created. Not only are we covering the one-shots, but we're also starting to cover the individual characters. From Batman to Ravager, from the Joker to the Flash, we are getting a glimpse of everybody's individual nightmares. We are seeing the Earth's greatest heroes go through their worst nightmares. And this is all because of Insomnia. Most recently, what we had seen is Insomnia put the heroes and villains to sleep. But then there's Boston, a.k.a. Deadman, recognizing what's going on. After the death of John Dee, a.k.a. Dr. Destiny, Insomnia went for Batman and the others. Deadman now taking over Batman's body. He is doing everything he can to stop Insomnia, to bring this hellish nightmare to an end. But if Deadman is going to take down Insomnia, he is going to need some help to do so. So, make sure you guys have subscribed to the channel, make sure that you like this video, and with that being said, let's dive into this breakdown. Alright gang, so as we dive into this issue, we are really getting a reintroduction to Boston, just like we did in the first issue with First Blood. He talks about the days he was a trapeze artist, that he did it all for the gasps. He talks about the assassin's bullet, the one that took him out when he was mid-air, right in the middle of his act. And he will be the first to admit that he had it coming. But he never heard the shot. He only heard the gasps. While everybody thought it was part of the show, the crowd had gone wild. The moment that Boston died was the greatest performance of his life. But now he is stuck, never being able to move on. Every day exactly the same. He is now the audience, forced to watch everyone else live their lives. But with Boston getting us into the story, we are picking up exactly where First Blood had left off. Deadman possessing the body of Batman. Insomnia having Batman by the throat. Nightmares around them coming to life. Insomnia is telling Deadman that you can join me, that he will give him whatever dream he wants. And at first, Deadman believed Insomnia was a ghost, but he has come to understand that this is not the case, that he has been invading the dreams. You see, John Dee, or Dr. Destiny, he was so afraid of the Nightmare Stone that he hid it away. The question is, did he hide it in the waking world or within the nightmares of the world's greatest so-called heroes? But Deadman is a little confused, that if he is from the dreams, how is he here now? Asking what is he? And Insomnia truly believes himself to be the god of nightmares. This is where Insomnia sends the living nightmares after Deadman. Deadman taking the opportunity, he jumps bodies, leaving Batman's body and jumping into Insomnia. This is where he gets a glimpse of everything. The Nightmare Stone created so long ago by a sacrifice, a tormented hero, a long-lost case. Dr. Destiny had once possessed the Dreamstone. John Dee had stole it, manipulated it, turned it into something broken and twisted, and so he feared the Nightmare Stone. In his fear, he hid it away. And Deadman is getting a glimpse where all of this started. It all started at Arkham Tower. This all started during Lazarus Planet, when the Lazarus rain was coming down, when the Lazarus Island had erupted. The rain had been cursed with magic. It began to change people. One of those people is Insomnia. This is where Insomnia got his powers. It gave him the ability to spy on people's minds as they slept. First, it was just the others in Arkham, like Dr. Destiny. But then he started to spy on the heroes. As Deadman begins to dig deeper, he sees that there is something good in here, something pure, but it remains hidden, a brief memory of joy, and that is when Insomnia kicks him out of his body. Deadman is more than certain that he is nothing more than just a random guy, that this is no god of nightmares. This is a man that was locked up in Arkham, and just by chance, he ended up with these powers and abilities. Jumping back into the body of Batman, He knows that John Dee had been killed for the Nightmare Stone. And while he is dead, Deadman does believe that he knows somebody that knows about its creation. And so, in Batman's body, he hightails it out of here, jumping out the window and using the vines that are now around the city. At one time in his life, he was a trapeze artist. Now, in the body of Batman, he does all of this with great ease. Even taking note saying, say what you will about Batman, but the dude works out. That this is easily the most fit person he has ever possessed. Getting down to the ground, that is where he sees the Batmobile. And he knows that Batman is going to be furious. Furious that he took over the body that he is using as vehicle, but he couldn't leave Batman's body behind. And now he has some kind of idea on where he needs to go, on what he needs to do. And so with Boston taking off, Insomnia says to let him run, that the Nightmare Realm is slowly pulling him back, that without the stone his time is limited. But he does rise up his sleepless nights, and these nights, they are going to search the land of the living. While Insomnia is in the dreams of all of Deadman's friends, they are going to scour high and low for wherever the stone might be. Now, Boston believed at first that this was just isolated to Gotham. He had no idea that nearly the entire world had been knocked out by Insomnia's wave. But there are a couple heroes out there that are still awake. From Tornado to Zatanna, they are all trying to stop Insomnia in other ways. They all have their own mission, but Boston has his. He needed to take this fight to his own home turf. He saw that Insomnia was created by the Lazarus Rain, and while most of the Lazarus resin had been wiped from the earth, Batman had kept a sample. And while Boston feels a little bit icky about using it, right now he needs the help. He needs some answers. This is what takes us to the grave of Wesley Dodds. As Wesley rises up, Boston is letting him know that the world is in danger, that there is a lunatic out there looking for the Nightmare Stone, that it is up to the two of them to solve this case, promising that once they solve this, he can go back into his slumber. Putting on his trench coat, grabbing his pistol, putting on his hat, we have the return of Sandman. And that will be the end of this issue. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. You know, I've said it a couple times now, I was so skeptical on jumping into this run. DC really has been a hit or miss lately, especially when it comes to their events. But man, this is some actual real good writing. And I don't expect anything less from Joshua Williamson. Now, obviously, not every single issue we can expect to be a hit, especially with a ton of different artists and writers going to be going and doing their own individual thing with specific characters. For example, Teenie Howard is going to be working on Catwoman and Harley Quinn. Willow Wilson doing the Poison Ivy. Those are probably lines that we're not going to cover. Now, we are going to cover as many as possible, but there are some writers that I just don't agree with, I don't like that much, those specifically being two of them. Not to say that they're bad writers, they're just not my cup of tea. Now, of course, I'm going to pick up the issues, I'll see if they're actually worth it, I'm going to give them the time of day, just because so far all the other issues have just been so good. And we got a handful coming out this week. We got Green Lantern, we got The Flash, we got Robin. There's a bunch of really good ones that I am excited to get into. But this issue really did give us the kind of origin to Insomnia, helping us understand where he came from, where he got his powers, and how all of this came into being. Obviously, the biggest reveal being the return of Sandman. And one last note before we close this out, I am very happy that Boston is getting the spotlight. I'm a big fan of Deadman. I like his character, I like the idea behind him, and more recently, we've only really seen him in Wonder Woman comics. There's a few exceptions, but he has mainly been sticking to Wonder Woman, especially when she was in the Sphere of the Gods. So it's nice to see Boston getting some highlight, getting some attention, and I'm really excited to see how all of this is going to close out. But let me know your thoughts, let me know your theories, if you would like to get completely caught up on everything going on with this series. Be sure to check out the link in my description as well as the top of this video. It will get you completely caught up on everything going on with this story. If you would like to support the channel, you can always do so by joining the channel membership. Much like Patreon, having multiple different tiers, from $1 to $50, from loyalty badges to comics every single month. Not only are you helping out the channel tremendously, but you are getting tons of perks in the process. Now, if you are unable to do this, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, like this video, hit that notification bell, and with that being said, until the next breakdown.